Hello, Helen here. Welcome to my channel. Today's card I'm going to be doing a spotlight card. I've done one in the past which I'll link at the end of the video, but this time I'm going to be using the Ultra wallpaper art set. Now to do this I need to use my MISTI because you've got to stamp in exactly the same place on two pieces of card. So I've got my card base and a card panel exactly the same size. I'm also going to use the outline cluster of leaves out of the Beautiful Day set, as I like the leaves on that one better for this card. So I'll start off by stamping the flower on the top of my card base, and then I'll swap it over and do the card panel exactly the same. I'm using Memento Tuxedo black ink because that's the one ink that I've got that's Copic friendly, but you can use any other black inks that would be Copic friendly, whatever you've got. I'll use a mask that I've made from a previous time and kept and cover the flower and stamp the leaves in the corner, and then I have to do the same by swapping it over to the either the base or the front panel, whichever I'm doing first, and doing the other one, moving the mask each time, and then carry on doing all the leaves in that corner. And when I finish the top left hand corner of both of the card base and front panel, I'll move the whole piece up and do the same on the bottom for both. You can do whatever you want. You can stamp along the side or do any variety of things that you want, but just make sure that you've got your front and your back exactly the same, so that when you trim the front panel down, which I'm going to do soon, the patterns totally match. Now that I've got my two pieces looking exactly the same, I'll take my front card panel and I'm going to trim that down right round the outside edge by 2 centimeters, which will make it quite a bit smaller than my card base. I want to allow for a little bit of a purple outline around it, as I'm going to be colouring them in with purples today. Now I'm ready to do the colouring of my front panel, or what's left of my front panel. So I'm going to use 3 shades of Copics markers. I'll have the numbers that I used over on my blog. I have the address in the description underneath this video. So I start off with the lightest colour of the Copics and colour in the whole petal, and then I'll use the medium colour and do some flicking motions about halfway up the petal, and then from there I'll use the darkest colour and just do the same flicking motions from the very base of the petal, and this just gives a nice striation effect on the petal. It's quite a nice effect. So I'll carry on doing that for all the rest of the petals of this flower and the other one in the other corner. Then I'll use 2 different greys to do the centre of the flower and 3 greens using the same flicking motion to do all the leaves. Once I'm finished all the colouring, I found a piece of card that matched the purples that I'd used for the colouring, so I'm going to mount the card panel onto that and then trim it round. So I've just got a tiny, like 2mm little frame right round it, and that just breaks up the front and the back, so that if you've got any problems with matching the flowers that you've stamped on the bottom, it just takes away from those little joins. So it's quite a good little trick to do, just so that you don't have to be too exact, although mine matched up pretty well. And the last thing I'm going to do is just put some craft foam on the back of my framed front panel and stick that down onto my card. The last thing I have left to do is to do the sentiment. I'm just going to use a piece of this purple card that I used for the frame, and I'm going to stamp a sentiment with the Old and New Birthday Greetings stamp set. I'm going to use clear ink and white embossing powder, heat set that and then trim that, and that'll go on my card. Now you'll see when I come to heat set the embossing powder that the card turns a slight pinker colour. I was a bit worried about that, but as soon as it cooled down it went back to the purple, so I was so relieved about that. Hadn't noticed that happened before. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this inspired you to use your stamps in a different way and maybe make a card like this. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.